We are here streaming the Hong Kong-Taiwan Friendly Cup 2016. I'm Edward Cheung, and together with me, I have Johnny.
Hi there.
So the first games here we have Jeremy Wong from Hong Kong and also Zhang Xianhao from Taiwan. So maybe we should begin the match. Okay. Yeah, sorry that we don't have the background music at the moment. So the first game is here, and we can see that the teams from Zhang is a dual dragon with Rayquaza, Dialgas, Ditto, Smigos, Thunderous, and also Scarfty.
For the other side, Jeremy is using Primal Groudon, Salamence, Cresselia, Smeargle, Xerneas, and Bronzong.
So, what do you think about the teams' matchups?
Matchup-wise, Dialga is a pretty interesting choice. Of course, with both dragons on Taiwan Hexer side, Xerneas gives them problems, but then he can also deal with that with Thunderous, I guess.
Yes.
And,
But it's quite interesting. But the Groudons should be quite important for Jeremy's here because the team for Zhang's side only requires can counter it in a fair amount
unless Dialga has Earth Power.
Oh, true.
But even so, I think Dialga doesn't want to see a Groudon.
Yeah, the other problem is how Zhang could stop Xerneas from boosting. Maybe there are some kind of random red cards or raw or yeah. So we're jumping into the match, the first match of today's.
I also don't see any form of speed control on John's side except for that Thunderous.
Thunderous is critical. So we'll see the lead from Jeremy. This is Smeagol and Xerneas.
On the other side, we see a Dialga Smeargle lead.
So what do you think the items of both Smeagol is? Would it be Scarfed or otherwise?
Yeah, it's very crucial if it's very crucial to scout out what item the other Smeargle has.
Yeah,
because if it's Scarf, it will affect the way you play the rest of the game.
It's a best of 3 game.
Of course, Smeargle could go for something like the Fake Out and let Xerneas get that Geomancy boost.
Yes, but maybe there is a possibility that the opponent's Smeagol has a Fake Out and then Dialga would use a Trick Rooms. So, Jeremy used Crafty Shields.
That will prevent the Dark Void from coming out.
It seems that the Dark Void is coming from the Scarf Smeagol. So a Geomancy boosting the Xerneas special attack, special defense, and speed doubles.
And now Dialga will find it very hard to deal with this +2 special defense Xerneas. Because
Yes.
most Dialga
Unless
special...
is it Trick Room? I don't think so. It's the Dragon
Oh,
Pulse.
it's a Dragon Pulse, right? Into
Onto the Smeagol. And is able to survive because of the Focus Sash.
Now it's time to see the Moody Boosts. Oh, the evasiveness goes up.
And on the other hand, the attack boost and the special defense drops.
That's one of the things you do when you have to play Smeargle. Sometimes you have to pray for some good Moody Boosts.
True.
And at the same time, you have to pray that the opponent doesn't get a good Moody Boost.
So we can see that the advantage is on the Jeremy's side because the boosted Xerneas could knock out the Scarf Smeagol with 1 hit and damage the Dialgas heavily.
Yeah, I think the positioning is very favorable for Jeremy. He still has a Smeargle which can use Crafty Shield in case the other Smeargle tries to Dark Void again.
Yes.
But then he also has to be he has to be aware of these mind games.
We see Zhang withdraw his Dialga and instead is Ditto, copying the boost Cernius.
Oh no. We don't see Smeargle switching out, so that means he's probably staying in for another Dark Void.
And the crafty shields from Jeremy's to prevent the Dark Void. And the Dazzling Gleams. Oh, the Smeargle miss. It really hurts. Okay, and we see a red card! So the random red cards on the Ditto. Wow.
Now the board position's been flipped around, and now Jeremy has to deal with the +2 boosted Cernius.
And Scarp Smeargle. Wow, I like the name that I like the name that Jeremy named Smeargle. The ground boss. So another Moody Boost and on evasion! My god.
That's a 2.68 chance of
yes.
evasion.
So any boost on Jeremy's side is immaterial now. So we'll be able to see some kind of turnovers from Jeremy.
Of course, Groudon deals with Cernius pretty well, even if it's boosted. And what's crucial is the damage output that the opposing Cernius has. Because how much it hits the Groudon will imply how much special defense and HP investment this Groudon has.
Yes, but at least on the opponent's Smeargle really hurts. So it seems that Jeremy is a very hard time to decide what boost he's using. So another crafty shield from Jeremy's Smeargle. No switching out, indicating that he'll continue to
straight into the Groudon.
Dark Void coming. Is protected. And we see a Fire Punch. Oh! Avoided because this quadruple boost of the evasionist. So we see speed Moody Boost from Jeremy's side here.
That will make Jeremy's Smeargle faster than the opposing Smeargle.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't really think so because it depends on the speed of Smeargles. Because if there's a maximum speed Smeargle, it could outspeed his Smeargle, but on the other hand, it could not outspeed the Ditto itself.
Well, it was a very interesting tactic to bring a Ditto in the back.
Yeah, and you could foresee there is a boost Smeargle and you copy it and kick it out. So Smeargle,
Groudon switches back.
Yeah, switching back to Groudons.
And he's going to bring in his own Cernius. The opposing Cernius goes for a Protect. Probably
Which is interesting. And Dark Void missed both of them. And oh,
Dark Void comes out from the other end. And Smeargle avoids the attack.
Yes.
Evasion 啦 ，OK。
So an immaterial boost. It drops. So the opponent's Smeargle continues to build up the advantage boostings.
I think it's avoided 3 attacks in a row, right?
I think so. So the opposing Cernius using Dazzling Gift, damaging the Cernius a lot.
That takes a lot of damage.
Yeah.
That takes more than half.
So another immaterial boost. Oh my god! So the speed drops this time. Finally, the opponent's evasion is dropped one step.
It's still
It's still for
It's still
free.
a 2.1
Yeah.
something.
I think Jeremy should take it serious at how he should deal with this tactics in next two games.
Well, this game is far from over, but then you might need to think about
Yeah.
how to stop the opposing Smeargle more than dealing with the
And we
Xerneas.
see the Dark Boy connected. And
And it
Jeremy's-
connects with the Smeargle.
Yeah, and the Smeagol is sleeping.
Smeargle can be the perfect partner for Xerneas.
Another speed boost from their Scarf Smeagol.
My goodness.
Oh, both sides disputing his speed. And yet, Jeremy's Smeagol drops his evasion as one step.
But yeah, you see a lot of different Smeargle Xerneas combinations just because Smeargle has a lot of options that it can choose. It can use Follow Me to redirect attacks onto it for Xerneas to get that boost, or it can just Dark Void, put the opponents to sleep to let Xerneas get that Geomancy boost.
True. Because usually you see Smeagol's in boosting teams like Xerneas and Sword Dance require, so we could see it. We often see the Scarf ones. So
Yeah,
now
because
that,
the speed tier that Smeargle has on his base stat isn't a very high speed.
and a
so-
critical hit knocks out the
Oh
ground
my
ones.
goodness. Let's see the last Pokemon that Jeremy is bringing.
So it's a
It's gonna be-
Cresselia.
And I'm not sure it can have much to do against this boosted Xerneas.
And boosted Smeagol. Okay, the match is forfeit, and we will jump into match 2 right away.
It's a pretty interesting tech though, a red card on the Ditto.
The first time that I see the red card Ditto is from Level 51 from Singapore. And when I had a match with him, he turned his Ditto into a non-primal Randons.
Oh,
That's interesting. So once again, we are watching Hong Kong-Taiwan Friendly Cup 2016, and we are in round 1 of the quiz. So on the Hong Kong side, we have Jeremy's and playing against Dan of the Taiwan side. And Jeremy is using a team consists of Xerneas, Groundons, Salamans, Cresselia, Smeagol, and also a Bronzong.
well, I think that Jiang saw that Xerneas was very crucial to defeating Rayquaza and Dialga in terms of the legendary matchup. And letting Xerneas get that boost and switching in a red card Ditto would be very advantageous because it would rotate out the opposing boosted Xerneas.
So we see the lead right away. The same needs comes from Jeremy. This is Smeagol, and we also see the same needs from John's. It's Smeagol, Xerneas versus Smeagol, Dialga. So will Jeremy continues to use the Crafty Shield to prevent the Dark Boys, the Scarf, the speed boosted Dark Boy incoming?
Or does Jeremy have a fake out that he can land onto the opposing choice?
Of course, the opponent's Smeagol could use it fake out onto the Smeagol as well.
So that's not very
so
likely.
It could knock out this one in first turn.
Yep.
So we see the Crafty Shields coming in from Jeremy's side. So no fake out. It's a final gambit!
Wow! Choice Scoff, Final Gambit, Smirgle deals a huge amount to that Cernius.
Still, it's a dazzling gleam from Jeremy's side.
Single target that gleam doesn't even do half to this
Can the
Dialga.
flash cannon knock it out? Oh, it knocks it out. Do you think the tradings of Smeagol with a Cernius is kind of advantageous just for John?
Yeah, definitely. Anytime you can trade a unrestricted Pokemon for a restricted Pokemon, especially if it's not a Mega, that is a huge advantage.
So
And with Cernius off the field,
coming in from John,
yeah, and with
the Dual Dragons will face a Bronzor.
yeah, with Cernius off the field, both of these dragons will have a much easier time facing Jeremy's team. And Jeremy has two support Pokemon
So we
here,
see the Waterfall coming in from the Rayquaza.
probably predicting a Groudon switch in.
Or maybe he's trying to
Oh.
flinch that Bronzor. And a Dark Void connected. Were they able to connect it with both of them? Yes! So, the two Slippy Dragon is going to face the Smeagol Bronzor in the Trick Rooms.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good turn by John, I think. Because Flamethrower and Waterfall covered the Groudon switch in and would hit Bronzong super effectively.
But it seems that the Bronzor doesn't receive too much damage from the Flamethrower. This probably is a hit-proof. Do you think so?
Yeah, probably. Heat-proof Bronzong will take half times the damage from Fire-type moves, which are usually super effective.
So Jeremy is switching out the Smeagol for his own Groudons. And we see the Gravities.
Now I think what Jeremy's praying for is that he can set up a boost somehow and use the Gravity and the Precipice Blades with a slow Groudon to actually deal some heavy damage.
I
to the
don't
opposing Groudon.
think at this moment you should maybe we could just double target it onto the Rayquaza is switching out.
Rayquaza is probably
And we see Ditto. And we will see a very interesting thing that so Dialga is asleep, probably using a Protect. And Jeremy's protecting his own Groudon.
Oh, that doesn't.
But the
look
Gyarados is going to launch on the Ditto and initiating the red cards, and the Smeagol is switching back into the field. So a very huge advantage for, and the accuracy is boost. So it's definitely going to connect with the
Dark Void.
Dark Void.
Now it comes down to what the speed of this Smeargle is.
I think that's the
I think
speed
it will
is,
still underspeed
yes,
the Dialga.
maybe it's
Groudon.
84 or even lower. So the protect from the Ditto.
And the Dark Void comes out.
And
oh, the opposing Dialga wakes up, fires off a Dragon Pulse into
Onto-
Smeargle.
and Focus Edge is activated.
I'm expecting this Groudon
We see the Prison
attack.
Blaze from Groudon.
Dialga does not want to take that Precipice Blades.
True, and it's knocked
And it
out.
fails.
Another move he boosts from is boosting his defense and dropping his special defenses in the immaterial with this 1 HP. Is the moment.
Well, with Rayquaza coming in, you have to be wary of an extreme speed that might come in to the Smeargle.
But the Rayquaza still have one turn, at least one turn to sleep, as I know.
Right.
So Jeremy should be able to take game 2. We see the wide guard from Jeremy's Smeagol.
That's a pretty good play. It prevents the opposing Groudon from firing precipice blades this way.
Yeah, exactly. So a lower ground is able to knock it out with one hit.
Wow.
It's because Ditto has the HP of Ditto is less than the actual Groundons. So 3 versus 1, we are able to see game 3 right away.
I think that was a pretty well played game on Jeremy's part,
Surely.
especially the turn where he used his Bronzong to jar a ball into the opposing.
But the
Ditto.
final gambit is really creative in my opinion, because Smeagol doesn't really have a very high HP. Yes.
But as we see from these first 2 games, Jiang is probably relying on his Smeargle to take care of the opposing Xerneas.
So we see the third game here is the one of the Swiss.
Do you think that they will switch up the leads a bit?
I don't think so. They really just stick towards the Smeagol leads, but Smeagol's with a combination of Smeagol with anything insects, maybe that's my best bet.
Of course, Xerneas puts a very big, it puts a lot of pressure onto the opposing team, but then at the same time, the opposing Ditto can threaten a transform switch in, and if Xerneas goes down, then it becomes a pretty tough matchup for the Jewel Dragons game.
And the Ditto really dominates the match. Okay, we'll jump into the match. So the Ditto allows John to use 3 restricted Pokemon. There's a slight advantage against Jeremy's. So we see a Smeagol Xerneas and the Smeagol Dialga once again. The lead doesn't
Same
change.
leads.
But will we see the final game once again?
Yeah, it comes down to what Jan tries to do with his Smeargle. Will he go for that Choice Scarf Dark Void, or will he try to Final Gambit and take all the HP? Not all the HP, but a huge chunk of HP off that Xerneas. And Dialga revealed Dragon Pulse, Flash Cannon,
And probably a Protect. So, another crafty shields from Jeremy's Smeagol. Will we be able to see final gambit of get Dark Void? This is a Dark Void!
goes
So,
for Dark Void.
a very clever move from Jeremy's. We see a dazzling gleam from an unboosted
Yeah,
Xerneas.
Jeremy doesn't want to see a Ditto come in and copy his
True.
Geomancy
So,
boosts.
here we see the opponent's accuracy rise and see the attack drops. And the Jeremy side special attack increase and the defense drops.
That's pretty even duty boosts on both sides.
Yes, and if we don't see the evasiveness increase, it's still a tie. So another crafty shields from Jeremy and
Do
blocking.
you think a Moonblast would knock out the opposing Dialga?
I don't think so, but Jeremy sticks towards the dazzling gleams and knocked out the Smeagol finally. And now Flash Cannons is going on to the Xerneas. Wow, this should be a critical hit. No critical hit.
That's a very special attack invested Dialga.
Yes, and the speed decreases. You can see it from the Smeagol. So another, and Rayquaza is coming in. And the Smeagol is susceptible from other extreme speed. And actually, both of them are susceptible of the extreme speed.
Yes.
So that gives John a slight advantage against it in this matchup. So a pretty you need to
Now the
really
choice is to
get-
see if Cernius goes for an attack or he protects.
or even the boost. Alright, and we see extreme speed onto the Cernius. So Jeremy is sacrificing his Cernius to preserve the and the Dragon Pulse connected. So it's a 2-2-3. Jeremy is going to play this game with 2 of his remaining Pokemon against
I'm
John's.
expecting Bronzong and Groudon in the back,
Yes.
same as last game. Now it comes down to if Jeremy can set up that Trick Room and that Gravity with that Bronzong.
So the waterfall, the waterfall flinching would be the only critical.
John
things.
could also choose the waterfall into the Primal Groudon because the airlock nullifies the effects of Desolate Land.
A very critical turn for both of us. Both of them. But I still think that the advantage is on John's side. So it's withdrawing. So John is withdrawing his Dialgas, not wanting.
And it's a Scrafty coming out.
Scrafty instead of a
It's not-
Ditto. So
it's
an
not that-
intimidate. Going to drop both physical attackers by 1 stage, and we see the Mega Rayquaza finally activating the Delta Streams.
Yeah, Delta Stream is a very good ability, and it increases the longevity of.
We see the Protect from,
Rayquaza.
and we see the Waterfall really.
And it goes into the Bronzong.
John really.
Whoa!
It's really a flinching as I predicted. So flinching really does matter. So I
This
don't really
does
know.
not look good for Jeremy.
Yes, could Waterfall we knocks out a Groundon with 1 hit, and we have the fake out pressures coming in from John.
Yeah, Scrafty is an interesting choice, as Jeremy probably expected a Imposter Ditto in the back.
So Scrafty is using a fake out onto the Groundon.
Groundon.
And in a Waterfall, is it able to knock it out with 1 hit? It doesn't! And the Trick Room is finally setting up. But the thing is, Scrafty should be the fastest Pokemon, and we still and the opponents still have the extreme speed. It's still a very tight time for Jeremy.
Now it comes down to whether the Bronzong wants to set up Gravity and the Groudon to take
Maybe
advantage of
a
that.
consecutive hypnosis under, and then we see the Protect from the Rayquaza. Very safety pace. Yes, exactly. And then knocked off.
That will be super effective, but it does not knock out the Bronzong.
And there's a chance to bury. So we see the extreme speed as predicted, knocking out the Groundons and securing the first victories of John from Taiwan against Germany.
Oh, the Hypnosis comes out and hits, but
It's too late.
it doesn't matter at this point.
So in knocked off, finishing the last Pokemon from
That will be the end of the first round.
Congratulations to John. So we'll be back and let's do some comments here. Hi.
Hi there.
So what do you think about the games?
I think that Jan's team was very interesting. Revolving around the core of those 2 dragons, he had a lot of different tech support options, such as that Imposter Ditto and Scrafty for the Intimidating.
And the Ditto itself, the red card Ditto itself, is also a very interesting pick. Because in the early season, we don't often see the Ditto using the red cards until in the mid-season.
Oh yeah, definitely. You used to see a lot of choice Garth Ditto, just because you could switch in, copy the opponent, and also get the speed advantage on them.
Yeah, and I really like the combinations of the Dialgas and also Rayquaza because it counters the Salamence really much.
Yes, it does, because
The Rayquaza doesn't like Salamence.
yeah, of course. The only thing is it has to deal with the fairy typings, especially Xerneas.
Yes,
And if it can take care of that, then
the answers for Jeremy, for John is the Ditto, the red card Ditto itself. So,
and also the Smeargle. The Choice Scarf Smeargle played a big part in the first 2 games.
I wonder what moves that John's Thunderous would carry. Would it be some kind of it's just a normal Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave, Swagger, and Protect? Or do you think it's another alternative?
I think it might have been a more offensive Thunderous, seeing that the support options on the team are Ditto and Smeargle.
But quite interestingly, if that Thunderous has the hidden power of water, it could not knock off the Groudon with 1 hit.
Well, I think the team relies more on Rayquaza to take care of Groudon, so Thunderous might probably be for Kyogre.
Yes. So, here comes the end of round 1 of the quiz, and we'll be back soon. Stay tuned.